Go on YouTube, right? There are hundreds of videos where officers will literally destroy your car to get you out. Classic sovereign case where got the license plate, traveling by right is what I think how they term it.
If you don't have the right to travel freely in America, you don't have any rights. But do you want to see what the state really thinks about your right to travel?
So officers initiated a traffic stop in Harris County, Texas for a vehicle having a fictitious plate bearing the word traveler on it. During the stop, the defendant refused to provide
Traveler. Okay.
The condescending Pee Wee Herman laugh at the end lends an additional disgusting twist to that knife of betrayal.
Traveler. Okay.
Judge David Fleischer not only mocks an American's right to freely travel in the land of the free, he implies that might makes right and that cops will literally destroy your vehicle if you dare to exercise those unalienable rights.
Go on YouTube, right? There are hundreds of videos where officers will literally destroy your car to get you out. When you get into a pissing match with a person who has the power of arrest, who's going to win, Mr. Daly? That's real life. When you get into a pissing match with someone with the power of arrest, you are nearly always going to lose. It's just the way it works.
It's just the way it works.
And the only reason it works like that is because people like Judge David Fleischer continue to support and condone property destruction and violence by state agents on people who just want to be left alone. Okay, let's go through this judgment of tyranny on an American who just wants to freely travel down the road.
What would you like?
So, Judge, two things. I've talked to Madam Prosecutor on this case, Judge, and I'm approaching on two things. One, bond reinstatement, and PC on this case, Judge. She and I have already discussed it on this case, and we just both want you to hear the PC if we can, Judge.
Okay.
And then on the bond reinstatement as well, Judge. Right.
Okay, so we're going to hear PC, or probable cause that a crime has been committed, right? That there was actually a victim that was left by this person who's standing before Pee Wee Herman to be judged.
So officers initiated a traffic stop in Harris County, Texas for a vehicle having a fictitious plate bearing the word traveler on it. During the stop, the defendant refused to provide
Traveler. Okay.
During the stop, the defendant refused to provide ID or insurance information, stating,
You know what that tells me? You thought you were free to travel in the land of the free? What's gotten into you, boy?
I do not consent to this. Officer attempted to remove the defendant from the vehicle, and defendant actively resisted by pulling his arm away from deputies until he was detained.
Okay. Tell me what.
So we looked at, Madam Prosecutor, the interference with duties of public servant, Your Honor. Even if my client is failing to give them that, then it is an arrestable offense. But in this situation, it is, Judge. However, in this particular situation, he didn't interfere with anything in terms of his own arrest. I can, if it was a resisting or something to that effect, I can.
They're just trying to get him out of the car.
I don't
And
disagree.
It's classic sovereign case where got the license plate, think that traveling by right is what I think how they term it.
In this situation, Judge, and the reason I'm employing upon the court is, even from what Madam Prosecutor has seen on the video, they're pulling and tugging at his arm, which put my client in some fear. It was more than one officer. It was pretty.
But he still has a duty. If they're asking you to come out, they can lawfully do that. And there are videos, and go on YouTube, right? There are hundreds of videos where officers will literally destroy your car to get you out.
And that would be an immoral act on a guy who didn't commit a crime. He had whatever license plate he had on there, and he didn't want to pay the extortion fee of the state. So what David Fleischer is saying here is we need to keep the extortion of the state in place. And if somebody violates that or tries to escape from our extortion racket, then armed road pirates can come along and jeopardize this guy's life. And if he tries to resist by pulling away, well, he's clearly done wrong. And he clearly needs to be pulled out of the car. And if he refuses to come out of the car, then it's clearly right, according to David Fleischer, for them to destroy his property and use whatever force necessary to bring him to bear. The slave thought he was free on the plantation. We can't have slaves out there thinking they're free. That's what this amounts to right here. And anybody who supports this court system or this judge or the armed robbers or the extortionists of the state are consenting to the vile actions of the criminally minded of the state.
When you get into a pissing match with a person who has the power of arrest, who's going to win, Mr. Daly?
We don't disagree, Your Honor.
Right.
That's
You know what I mean? That's real life.
So even his attorney says, we don't disagree. Might makes right. You're right. If we get into a pissing contest, if we get into an argument about, hey, I want to travel, I want to be left alone. No, we don't want you to travel. We don't want you to be left alone. The guy with the most power is going to win. And that's just the way we do things here in America. Why don't we stop doing this? Is insanity.
We don't disagree, Your Honor. I think under the circumstances of what actually happened, it was not Mr. Daly's position to resist or to interfere. That was not. He was concerned for his safety at that point. And actually, I don't know, did you hear that on the video? Right. And so in reviewing the video, it was pretty quick, pretty brash. They didn't give him an opportunity to respond per the prosecutor in this situation.
I have never seen an attorney touch a client like this. This is just weird. Is this his mother? Is this his wife? What's going on here?
It wasn't as if he was intentionally
Remember,
not.
this is just a mere probable cause.
Yes,
So,
Your Honor, I agree.
you know, they ask you to come out of the car one time.
No, they have not articulated probable cause that a crime had been committed. That's the intention of probable cause as it's written in the Fourth Amendment. Prior to them even mentioning probable cause, the founders thought it'd be a good idea to put in there, you have the right to be secure in your person, houses, papers, and effects. That would mean that you have the right to be secure in your vehicle. If you haven't committed a crime, if you haven't damaged somebody's property, if you haven't harmed them, if you haven't killed somebody, if you haven't stolen from somebody, then they need to leave you the frick alone.
Yeah, you know, it's really, that's, so, I mean, I think that there's enough probable cause to go forward now. The problem is, Mr. Daly, is that we revoke your bond. Your bond is set at 2501, and you've continually failed to appear. So, you know, the case and the way that you've treated us, it shows me that you just refuse to accept authority. How are we supposed to deal with that?
You refuse to accept our force against you. Yeah, you haven't violated anybody else, but you're refusing our violation against you. Power justifies nothing. Power proves force, but rights prove themselves.
How do we deal with that, Timberland?
Your Honor, the only reason I bring to your attention is I asked the court to take into consideration, we have a Black male works every day who, and I hate to put that on the court, but I do in this particular climate, that has never been in contact with any particular law enforcement court system. And from what I can see and what I hear out here from a lot of my Black male, and I'm sure it's common knowledge, is that because they are unfamiliar with the court system, they don't know, number one. Number two, when they do come in contact with police, and my mother is assistant chief of police, so I can understand, even when I was younger, I was taught that there are certain things that you have to do with when a police officer even stop you on a speeding ticket. What we don't know is whenever these officers come up, when you're somebody who don't have the privilege of having a police officer as a parent, or who isn't familiar and is being raised in this particular climate and seeing what they see on TV and seeing what they hear and everything that has occurred, you don't know what the proper steps are. I was trained from.
This is pathetic. This is pathetic. All she has to do is say, Judge, According to the law of natural rights, this man harmed no one. But a band of robbers with uniforms, badges, and guns intimidated this man and interrupted and infringed upon his right to travel on American soil. We can't have that, Judge. We can't have that. The cops should be going after real criminals, not creating criminals through an extortion racket state-funded scheme.
When I was grown up, what you do. I'm not saying that what he did was right or wrong. I'm not saying that how he reacted to this particular court, it is wrong. However, I'm employing upon the court to ask the court to take into a little bit of consideration. Number one, from his perspective, all defendants, can't just say this, but I do see that, from what I've known from this particular case and now in talking to him, I do believe that there is a sense of sometimes they just don't know. Sometimes they just don't. So I'm asking to reinstate his PR bond. I am now on the case. What you know about me, I'm a tight attorney. I run a tight ship. So, and by which of way I believe I can reach him and getting him to court and resolving this matter, which is what I talked to the prosecutor about when you were on break. It's like, let's just resolve this. Let's take care of this.
Judge, I can make this slave see the light. Just give me a little time. I can work with him. I can rehabilitate him. I can re-indoctrinate him for the state, Judge. We'll keep this guy on the plantation, and I'll make sure I commit to it if it's the last thing I do, Judge. That's what I'm hearing.
I'll buy it.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
I'm not going to do this again, though. I promise you. I don't care whoever you have. If you flake on us again, that's 3 times. It's out. I'm not going to do it again. Do you understand, Mr. Taylor? I mean, when you come to court, good things happen. When you don't show up and you continually do it, you can't expect good things to happen. Now,
when you come to court, good things happen. Good things happen for the state. They can extract the product of the laboring energies from the tax cattle for their own benefit. Yeah, good things happen for them. Good things don't happen for you.
do you have a Texas driver's license?
Not right now.
You're not allowed to drive.
Right.
You have a bond condition and you've signed an affidavit with me today promising you're not going to drive.
Do you have permission from the government to travel, sir? You don't have permission from the government? Your masters didn't give you permission? Then you are prohibited from traveling.
I don't care how you term it. Driving, traveling, however you're going to word it, whatever you do not get into the driver's seat of an automobile, a motorcycle, anything with a combustible engine where you can get on the road unless you have approval from us. Do you understand? I don't care that you have to work.
It's like a parent talking to a child. You can't do this unless you get permission from us. Do you understand, Johnny? Do I make myself clear that we're in control? You are subservient. We are the parents. You are the child. That's how things work, okay?
I don't care if you have to go to church. I don't care if you're going to a funeral. I don't care if you're going to wherever it may be. Do not drive. Do you understand? Heed this warning. You're not going to get another one. Okay, Timberlake, I'll reinstate the bond.
Thank you, Your Honor.
This public defender is stabbing Liberty in the back, and the judge is twisting the knife while he fashions a noose to place around your neck and mine.
And I'll talk to her. We were going to try to talk to Chief, but it's pretty busy today.
I think the case is only 3 months old,
Yes,
so you've got time. You can do whatever you want.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Judge.
Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance. You don't have to waste your time coming to court now, but you must stay in touch with her and she'll tell you when you got to come back to court. If she comes back and tells me she can't get a hold of you because you're playing games or you've gone AWOL or whatnot, or you get arrested for something else, all bets off. We good? I'm not asking for much, man. You know, really. And for future reference, when you get into a pissing match with someone with the power of arrest, you are nearly always going to lose. It's just the way it works.
And it continues to work because people like this continue to support the system that is working against Americans.
And as a young black man in today's society, you got to be extra special careful because things can go really wrong really quick. And there's evidence of that over and over and over.
The bottom line is that in the mind of a sick, twisted statist, might makes right, when in reality, might forges chains and right breaks those chains. Leave your thoughts about this for the world and the global thought police in the comment section below. If you want to support this channel, you can do it for free just by liking this video, sharing it with others, subscribing to the channel, and hitting the bell notification icon. I will see you in the next video.